Welcome back to Easy Spirit 101. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and your comments. I really appreciate it. Let's see what's going on with Divine Collective at this time. What does Divine Collective need to know at the time you see this video? Okay, so there's something about grounding, and I feel like this Taurus here has something to do with this next exchange with Pluto that's going to be affecting those of you who have Taurus in your top 3 placements. There's something here about helping you put your dreams, put your goals into action here. Maybe those of you who were constantly working towards this or trying to achieve something and it never came into fruition, there's something about this next astrological exchange that will help, that's actually going to help you. You've really been kind of waiting on this timing more than anything. So some of you with Taurus placements, you're about to be stepping into whatever that dream was. I also feel like this is telling you, as per the kind of guidelines of law of attraction, your emotions are running too high when it comes to whatever this is that you've been working on, that you've been trying to achieve. So it's best to kind of, put the ball into motion and then release the feelings of tension, release your worries surrounding it. Stay positive when it comes to it. Worry is a big one when it comes to trying to manifest something. Something here about Gemini. Someone could be a Gemini, someone could be a Taurus, or have strong placements in those signs. This is confirmation for what I was saying. This next shift, this Pluto that's been cycling through the cardinal signs and is now moving into the fixed signs. This is going to be affecting you. This is going to be affecting whatever kind of goal or job or dream that you've been trying to achieve, and it feels like no matter what you do, you're hitting a wall. It's something to do with this transformation that you're going to be going through. The answers you need are coming. A lot of times when a dream is that heavy on your mind and your heart, say you've had the same, I just saw 344. That's confirmation for somebody. When you've been having like this same dream on your mind, on your heart for 20 plus years, it's there for a reason. Sometimes it's your higher self kind of knowing or having a forecast that that's something that's meant to be for you. But sometimes when we see it and we feel it and we want it and we chase it, and really it's not. There's something to do with timing. It's something about the right time, the right moment to get something off the ground. Lots of Gemini energy out here. Definitely something about communication coming in. Some of you are going to be receiving unexpected communication in regards to whatever this is you've been working on. Some of you need to check if you have a strong Gemini placement in your natal chart. Someone here feels blocked. Some of you could be some sort of like speaker or writer, and you've been having, what is that, like writer's block? You've been having some sort of block when it comes to your ideas, when it comes to getting new ideas to get something off the ground or move something. You need to know that it's funny because it says your hard work is paying off. And Capricorn and Taurus are they're very consistent, even to the extent of being stubborn. But the consistency is part of what, when they are on the right path, when it is the right thing, it's going to pay off. So that's significant. And I have been getting significant energy coming through for earth signs. A big positive change is coming in for all earth signs: Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. And the fact that I don't normally do readings that come out as like something to do with major astrological shifts tell me that that's definitely important to some of what you guys have been experiencing. Some of these major astrological shifts going on have been affecting what you've been trying to achieve, and or will affect positively or negatively something that you've been trying to achieve. There's also something significant about next Gemini season. That would be June. Some of you who feel like you've been unable to have a balance, have some sort of balance. This message is specifically for those of you who have some sort of spiritual past, spiritual career type thing. If you've been having a difficulty balancing how to get your practical issues, your day-to-day, your chores, and your this and your schedule, and all that stuff that comes along with being human and having a normal everyday life. But you also have this important factor when it comes to your spiritual practice. For those of you who've been having trouble balancing that out, something here, some sort of shift is coming in. This could possibly happen because of this change, because of this Pluto exchange into its next placement, coupled with Pisces season, which starts at the end of February. So a lot of like internal shifts are coming for many of you. It's something to be aware of. Some of you, this is actually going to affect your emotions. It's going to affect your emotions, and you're going to be surprised by this. It's not necessarily a bad thing. What I'm getting is that, for instance, especially with those of you who have heavy earth energy, and you're the opposite of emotional. You're not very emotional at all. It could be that this energy, when this pops up here, is going to start stirring up new feelings inside of you. That's something you need to look at. Especially for those of you, it's funny because it's coming out in reverse. I feel like there is a win-win outcome for someone here, but you're completely full of doubt, worry, discouraged. You're discouraged. This Pisces energy here, the emotions, the doubtful or discouraging emotions when it comes to what you're trying to achieve. Journaling, of course, can help that. What else does Divine Collective need to know? This is going to start out very general, and kind of hitting on a lot of different energies for Divine Collective as a whole. And then probably once we get into this tarot here, it may or may not kind of specify certain issues for some individuals in Divine Collective. Yeah, there's something about taking a leap of faith is coming in. Those of you who've been afraid to take a leap of faith over the past 20 some odd years about something you're trying to work on, this emotional hit here is going to kind of like force you into it. It's going to force you to overcome something, and you're going to be glad that you did. Priestess. This is definitely coming out for those of you who are some sort of high priest or priestess. You are being called to step up and lead. That's funny because a reading I recently did that was calling out earth signs. Earth signs are about to be stepping into positions of leadership. Yes, some of you are already in your north node. You'll know that if that's for you. Some of you are on the verge, especially with this. What are you clinging to that doesn't belong there? What are you clinging to that doesn't belong? And for some of you, this is just major towers that have been going off in your life when it comes to relationships, circumstances, bad habits, so on and so forth. Something to do with your connection. I can't really put into words the experience of your relationship specifically with God, with your angels, with your guides. Even that can have had brought up some internal towers for some of you. That has definitely happened to me. Some of you, especially in the 144, you're coming to a place where you're a little bit overwhelmed by this journey, discovering that it's kind of asking more of you than you expected it would when you walked into it to begin with. That's definitely happening for many people in Divine Collective, especially those of you who see 144 quite a bit. So you're already doing it. You're already headed towards your north node. Overthinking blocks a lot of you. So grounding energy is important. Yeah, trust. This is about trusting your intuition. Some of you, some of you are facing towers surrounding specifically trusting or learning to trust your intuition. I once heard another reader say, if it's not a yes, it's a no. If it's not an absolute yes, make it an absolute no, and that's going to help you trust your intuition better, make decisions more quickly, more firmly, which can affect the way you manifest your experiences in your lifetime. And that means if you're sitting there going, should I do this or that? How do I feel about that? I don't know. That's a maybe. Just mark the maybe as a no for now. Mark the maybe as a no for now. That could be something for later. Answer the call. Many of you are about to, after this cycle, after this major shift, this Pluto shift, that Pluto's all about transformation, big time transformation, death and rebirth. Many of you are going to be called into, you're going to be kind of playing a different role. You're going to be stepping up. Many of you are going to be stepping up. This could just be in your job. Some of you might go from being behind a desk to now you're the boss. That kind of thing is coming through for many of you, especially coming through for certain earth signs. And let me say certain earth signs because some earth signs are very low vibrational. They have not done any kind of internal work or, you know, so on and so forth. This is a collaboration. This journey is a collaboration. Your vibration is rising. So this is part of what even these towers that you have been going through that have been very, very uncomfortable. It had to do with raising your vibration. A lot of it, it's all coming together. Many of you are going to start commingling. I'm getting like raging tingles as I say this. Many, and I see 433. Didn't I say 344 earlier? Confirmation for some of you. Some of you, if you've been dying to get, you know, feel more powerful, feel more empowered by being with like-minded individuals, by having the right person in your corner, by working with someone like yourself on the project, that kind of thing. Many of you are about to be meeting up with your soul tribe. you're going to be in the right room with the right people. These are these towers. Again, a lot of you, it had to do with people from your past, even past life, especially where it says contracts here. Releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Many of you have overcome something. Many of you have passed lessons. You've released a past life relationship that doesn't serve you anymore. It had something to teach you or something to grow in you, and you achieved. You achieved what you needed to achieve from it. And some of you are still or being guided to really while this here is uncomfortable. You see how it's very, very dark in this one little section here? These are these towers. This is tower energy. And this is you coming out of the past. Especially those of you who are in the process of coming out of your south node into your north node. Like, that's literally why things feel so strange and so uncomfortable. And maybe you've had tower after tower after tower and you're exhausted and so on and so forth. You're leaving behind this old version of you and you're passing through. You're passing through to a completely new, for many of you, it's going to have a lot of major changes in your life, in your lifestyle, and what you're being guided to do during this. This is considered an initiation for many of you. It's a rite of passage. You pass some sort of test. You cut cords with people you needed to cut cords with. You said no to people you needed to say no to. And now you're being guided to really just kind of bathe yourself in self-love, self-care kind of energy that's going to help ease this discomfort. What can that mean for many of you? For many of you who you don't feel like you have access, you can't go out and buy crystals and buy your cedar and your sage, and you can't do this thing and that thing. It can be as simple as going on YouTube. One of my favorite recommendations is called a 75 hertz nervous system reset. And I swear to you, it will make you feel like you're in your mother's womb again. Seriously, like that level of comfort. That's a description of once upon a time that feels. You know, when you're young and you're a teenager and you're so upset by something that happened and you find yourself, you're like crying in your bed and you're in the fetal position. That's what I'm referring to. So even that is a form of self-care that you can go on and listen to meditation bowls, so on and so forth. If you have any kind of bells or anything yourself, just lighting some incense, ringing some bells around yourself, taking a bath, taking a shower, spending longer in there than you normally would, adding a new kind of scent to it. That kind of thing can help you comfort yourself, mother yourself through this difficult initiation, this difficult pass through. And that's really what it's been for a lot of us. It's been a passing through. So I hope this is making sense for some of you. For some of you who don't understand, like, why, like, everything feels so much better, but it also feels bleeping terrible. This is why. This is this, and it also has to do with astrological changes that make internal changes within everybody. This even affects your karmics. These astrological changes, it affects your karmics as well, but they're not in tune with it. They're not in tune with it because they haven't been on this journey, because their their vibration is way down here and you've already been kind of leveling up and leveling up. It makes you more in tune with nature, with the universe, what's going on, so you can feel things differently, you experience things differently, so on and so forth. I hope that makes sense. What else? What else? Virtue. Yeah, virtue. So definitely those of you who have been acting in the up and up in the up and up, especially through these difficult challenges. You're about to be rewarded. And not for all of you, but especially 144. There's a handful of you out there that have been going through it for an extremely long period of time. I mean, 20 years, 20 plus years. You have been putting a smile on and trying to honor God through a very, very long winded, difficult karmic period or karmic lesson. You are especially getting blessings for like passing some sort of test. Three of Wands can very much be like a ships coming in kind of card. So definitely be expecting your ships coming in. I feel like God wants some of you to know that you are rewarded. Some people doubt. Some people have gotten into a place of completely doubting. Yeah, if I do the right thing here, and I did this thing here, and it was good, and nobody was watching, and I did it just for God, and I don't think He sees me, and I think He forgot about me because I've been struggling, struggling, struggling. God's timing doesn't always work like that. It's not always like instant, like you're at a grocery store, you buy something, you give them the cash, you get the thing. It's not. That's very much 3D energy. That's very much human creation. God doesn't create the same way humans create. So again, many of you, this experience you've been going through had a lot to do with creating strong boundaries, and it was necessary because for some of you, your energy is changing, and having certain individuals or being in certain environments and having certain energy around you can negatively affect you in ways you don't even understand. Those of you who are full on high priest, high priestess, you do absolutely understand what I'm saying. So that's part of what this has been about. Looking at like even increasing your intuition when it comes to being around another individual. You meet someone, you immediately have a bad vibe about them, or you see a red flag. You don't sit around to find out, and you don't sit there and you guess and you hem haw. You immediately know this person is not for me. This situation is not for me. I'm in the wrong place. I keep my energy around other individuals who have the same kind of energy as me, who have the same morals as me. They respect the same ideas as me. They have the same vision as me. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact. That would be impossible, but it definitely comes to your intentions. If someone around you has poor negative intentions, or maybe they're constantly putting other people down, and you can feel that in your heart because you're very sensitive, that's you're in the wrong place. That can affect you. Being in that kind of energy can affect you, especially because people who treat other people like that, their energy, they're hiding something beneath the surface. It's very sad and very broken, and it's can't be your place. This is all what this boundaries is about, is knowing sometimes that you cannot force healing on someone else. You can't force somebody else to change. They have to want to do it themselves. This is giving me this. Some of you might be experiencing some kind of worry or like anxiousness that was coming through earlier. Something about worry because of this shift or this change, or maybe you already stepped into your north node, but you started to worry about the process. So many of you need to know that you are on the right path. And there, again, like I said in the beginning, there's something major, a major specific timing, astrological changes going on that are affecting or will affect, excuse me, what this is that you've been trying to work on, or what you knew was meant to be for you. For some of you, you might be an entrepreneur. For some of you, it just has something to do with being steady all on your own, and so on and so forth. And again, We're talking earlier about this collaboration. You're collaborating with spirit. Some of you are experiencing or sitting in this worry, uncomfortable energy because you're you're not understanding. You're still in this mindset of instantaneous. I did a thing, I should receive a thing. I did a thing, I should receive a thing. But the timing is not your own. You're collaborating with spirit right now. This is part of what's going on, and this is confirmation for you that you are on the right path, and something is like your ships are coming in. Yeah, the Hierophant. There's your confirmation, okay? If any card in the deck was going to say, hey, I'm God myself, and I've come to say hey, and I see you, and I'm saying yes, it would be this card. The Hierophant. This is a yes. This is confirmation on what is going on here. What, again, some of you don't, some of you feel like you've been hit by like a tornado or a ship or something, and you don't know what hit you. And part of it is these astrological changes, and they were for a reason, and they were deliberate for the things we were just speaking about. You cannot take certain energies, certain people forward. You cannot have the same habits. Some of these boundaries are for you against yourself. That's been part of the difficulty. Yeah, some of you, this could even have something with like, where do you make excuses to yourself? Where are you like lying or denying yourself something? It's very much, for some of you, it's about keeping yourself in check, especially when it comes to leaving certain things behind. And this, again, this is a reminder here that you didn't get away with it that one time. You made a little excuse in your head, and you did the thing that you weren't going to do anymore, and God saw it. God saw you do the thing. That's part of what this like difficult cycle. Again, this thing I'm saying right now specifically has to do with those of you who've been seeing 144. It's been very challenging for a lot of you. Balance and justice is coming in. Balance and justice is definitely coming in. And this is giving me heavy. Those that some of you have been guided to, for instance, cutting contracts, cutting cords. You overcame some sort of karmic relationship, karmic lesson. Some of you might be sitting in worry or concern at this time because because of whoever you had to leave behind. You need to know that they are blocked from you. You need to, yeah. Confirmation again. This is the second time we're seeing this. You're a high priest. You're a high priestess. This is for especially for those of you who might be, you left something very difficult and challenging behind. You are in your justice. You are protected from the moment that you stepped away from that, from the moment that you declared your boundary in that situation. You need to know that whoever or whatever you've had to leave behind is blocked from coming towards you. So it's okay to feel safe at this time. That's a message for someone specific, or some of you specific. It had to be done. That's like a answer to someone here. Someone here who may be doubting the choice they made, or doubting this transition that they took part in. You were supposed to do this, and it had to be done. This person couldn't come with you. For some of you, it's your family. For some of you, you're in a difficult situation, and it is very difficult. I completely understand that. You don't even know the ways. I completely understand that. Some of you, honestly, especially those of you who see 144 a lot, you were born into a completely karmic family You do things differently than them, you see things differently than them. You're probably the only one in your family that prays. You could even be the only one in your family that believes in anything. Some of you are born into a family where a lot of people lie, cheat, steal, violence, so on and so forth, and you've been trying to break free from this. And the difficulty is, a lot of us love our family very deeply, but again, we've been guided that this energy can negatively affect us if we allow them to hold us back. They absolutely will hold you back, and in some cases consume you. Courage, that's confirmation for whoever had to experience something like this. Part of your transformation had to do with your bravery and your courage, and there's no need to worry or fear at this time. The soulmate card coming out again, that could be a karmic contract with a relationship, like a intimate relationship, a romantic relationship. And again, for some of you, the soulmates can be right there in your family, but they're karmic contracts. Some of you, again, you're in the process, like you're about to pass through this. Some of you are in the process of moving forward, moving forward. And for some of you, the way you moved forward or the way you broke the contract had specifically to do with you being brave or free to be yourself. This could be someone who's got a family that, like, they tear you down. They say you're like being yourself and they insult you, and maybe back in the day you kept yourself small because you wanted to keep the peace with your family. So for some of you, your bravery had to do with kind of just being like, I'm not going to stay unhappy. For you, I've seen what you do anyway. You lie, you cheat, you steal, and you're sitting here telling me that I'm A, B, and C. For some of you, this was your difficult lesson. And you need to know that you are safe to do whatever it is that you need to do. You are safe. Look, that says help from above. You are safe to do what you need to do. You are divinely covered and protected, because no matter what anybody says, you were doing exactly what you were supposed to be doing in this moment. For some of you, this had something to do with generations. It's like a generational thing. You were meant to do this and be this in front of your family, just because you were breaking a cord or a tie or like a curse over your family, where they were meant to be brave and courageous 3 lifetimes ago, and they only got worse and worse, so on and so forth. And maybe some of you have a family that gives into temptation first and foremost, more than anything, and that's part of what you had to overcome and be bigger than, be braver than. Or for some of you, this was a partner. This was a partner that you experienced this with. The most important thing you need to know is, for those of you that the last part of this reading really resonates with, there is no reason to be worried or afraid. Discover your life purpose. I'm telling you, some of you are in your North Node, or you're on your way to your North Node. You may be seeing 333. You may be seeing 144 or 344. These are confirmations for you to keep going. You are closer than you think you are. And for others of you, you need to know that, like, your breakthrough is on the forefront. Expect your ships to come in. I hope you guys got some sort of clarity or understanding out of this reading, or you just enjoyed the reading. For those of you who watch the channel and you're not subscribed yet, please make sure you do so, because that helps these videos get to where they need to go. Other than that, I hope y'all have a great day. I'll see you again next time.